Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you qualify to pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any issue trending, any matter of the day. But always remember, you have the power to change your subject matter. You just have to pick up a call and punch. We on this program for 1 hour. We encourage people to just punch. We on RealFM 91.9. We on YouTube and Facebook page and our Facebook pages. We always encourage you to like and share our program. As soon as you enter that program, like it. Press the like button and share the program. It's very good for the program and the station when you share it. And, you know, just as how you enjoy or you're angry or you're upset with what you hear, you let somebody else have the opportunity to make a decision. Today, I want to make this statement that the National Democratic Congress will go down in history as the worst political party in Grenada. If they do not have a rude awakening on the road to Damascus, they will do irreparable damage to the economy and the very social fabric of our society. You see, I make this statement because I believe a people deserve the government they have. We could change the government. We could shape the government. We could bend the government to some incline if we notice the government will going wrong. I appeal in particular to members of the National Democratic Congress, the moderate bunch. Over the last 8 decades, your political party is qualified as the worst party in Grenada history. And you need to intervene. Don't just block off the statement. Examine it to see if there is truth in it and intervene and help change and remold this group of people. Yes, caller, welcome, punch.
Mr. Pierre, afternoon, sir.
Yes, caller.
You say punch, like and share. For you to do like and share, you have to have the program how you have to be for you to do like and share. Okay, if you don't at all the program how you have to be, people will like and people won't share. So
some people may not like it.
Program as how you have to be, and everybody go like and share.
That is perhaps the only program you're going to go to that you could change the subject matter. That is the only program you could pick up your telephone and they take the call in the middle of a sentence. So if I'm speaking, I would take the call before I finish make the statement. So it's a program with a difference. So even if people don't like the program is there to provoke discussion. You may like to give it to your friend to see if they don't like it too. That's why we say like and share and subscribe to RealFM. You there, caller? Yes. As I was saying, when you make a statement like that, obviously you must give reasons why you make the statement. I would not make a statement like that without advancing reasons and justification why I make this statement, because it's a powerful statement. A number of members of the National Democratic Congress may be upset with it. They may not agree with it. So I will advance reasons why I make that statement. And I will advance about 10 reasons why I believe in the last 8 decades, the National Democratic Congress, the political party and the government is going to go down in history as the worst in our country. The party and government that told the most planned lies to the people. That is the party and government that told the most planned lies that resulted in the loss of people's income. Now, sometimes individual lie, but it don't affect nobody. You doesn't lose job as a result of it. It is the only political party that has sit down and planned lies. And as a result of that, a significant number of people lost their job. Over 3,000 people lost their job in Grenada under 2 years of the National Democratic Congress. And once I passed the 1 year, I start to count 2. The political party that contribute to the most loss of jobs, the most loss of jobs in the lower income group, the lower echelons of society. Almost all governments are worried about unemployment, particularly in the lower income group. The NDC have a history of going after the people in the lower income group, and this party has contributed to significant loss of jobs. The government seems to be enchanted with NDC's gala and squandering public energy while they lavish in the mirage of a gala. I have never seen that in our country before. I have never seen that from no government in the past. From the time the government come in power under 2 years, I understand they have participated in 7 galas. They're enchanted with galas. They travel from country to country making gala. I have not heard any meaningful issues or things come back with substance from the gala. Except I've seen a lot of pictures with my friends dress up in expensive garb in the gala. It seems that the NDC is enchanted with gala, and they are squandering energy when they should be in Grenada, sitting on the blessed assurance, participating in discussion to solve problem. They in gala. The NDC is the most hostile government to the elderly and physically challenged. In fact, that is one of the issues with the NDC. Anytime they come in power, the first group of people to be affected is the elderly and physically challenged. It's a government that removes income from disadvantaged children. I never hear that in my born life. In all my born life, I never hear that. One government come in power and try to assist disadvantaged children, and another government come and with a stroke of the pen remove income from the disadvantaged children. It's a government that repeatedly lied to over 3,000 Imanis. They repeatedly lie to over 3,000 Imanis. The government did it in the 2008-2013 period. They lied to the Imani. They told them they would not send them home. They closed down the program, and the majority of them lost their job. Today, the government apologized. They say what we did to you in 2008-2013 was a political mistake. We will not make this mistake again. We go employ you permanently. And now the government is like a taunt to the Imani. They can squeak. They're getting every opportunity to fire them. Some of the Imanis have lost income, and some of them have been threatened. This government opens the door to a cesspool of corruption. And I will have to expand on that. Several of the government ministers are involved in organization or groups selling passport. Well, if the top government ministers are selling passport, and the prime minister is the one to put his final stamp, his final authority on the passport, that is opening the door to a cesspool of corruption. Immediately on the government coming into power, we have heard rumors and statements flying left, right, and center that government ministers was accessing loans from the Grenada Development Bank. This one beat all cockfight. This one beat all cockfight. The government seems to be flip-flopping on major issues. While one minister was saying the Minister of Mobilization, the Minister of Implementation and Restorative Justice, while he was saying, no, we have no intention of finishing with MNIB, the government created a sham, and I said it was a sham when they thought about consultation for MNIB. They made up their mind already. The ministers said MNIB would not be closed down, it would be reformed. The board didn't agree. The government override all of them. They closed down MNIB front door and kick in the back door. The government seems to have the natural tendency to avoid the front door and interfere with the back door. Based upon this and much more, I believe in the last 8 decades, Grenada is faced with the worst government. The government has decided that information must be made on a need-to-know basis. Everybody know. If you're hiding information, you are really planting and propagating speculation and rumors. So all the rumors and speculation you are hearing is because the government is hiding information. Now, what you expect is going to go on? Within 2 years of a government being, you see a rise in crime. And it doesn't mean the government is causing the crime. But a lot of the actions the government is taking, it is obvious it's going to cause social decay. And if you have these problems, high unemployment, social decay, then you're likely to have increasing crime. The government has fired 30 workers in Granby Estate. And this one is important, because the National Democratic Congress have the worst record, in my opinion, where agriculture is concerned. It is the very said government that cut down Belvedere nutmeg and plant banana. One farmer did not cut down his nutmeg. He singled it out. And when he was selling nutmeg, other farmers cried. You got to cut down this. They took a 25 million loan against the advice of every extension officer and agriculturist in the country. Then the government dig up wrong River Twine and plant banana again and say they planting organic banana. They always try to get involved in some deep project where they could pilferage, where they could get money from it. That is the history. So it baffles the agriculture minds of people. What is the government plan in trying to make certain that Granby Estate is unproductive? What is the government plan in refusing to meet the source of exporters, only about 9 or 10 of them, and at the same time sabotaging the pest management unit that manage this cotton scale insect? You are not hearing any statement from the government. No explanation. So speculation and rumors are running wild. You see, I believe that we dissolve the government we have. I believe that moderate members of the National Democratic Congress You should examine what I say and see if there is any truth in it. I know you wouldn't worry with me. I would have gladly go and hold a discussion with my brother, Willie, the only strategic export analyst in the whole OECS. But I believe he has been radicalized. So you would not be interested in discussion with me. Now, the moderate of the NDC, I appeal to you to see how you could reshape this group of individuals. They qualify to be considered as vultures because they prey on the weak and the disadvantaged in our country. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome. Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, what baffles me, and I'm saying it baffles me, is that why this administration is so bent on lies. And I'm saying it, bent on lies. As it relates to the MNIB, we heard a minister Andy saying that the government will not close down MNIB. This is not on the agenda of the Prime Minister. That's in my own words. He told us that. Now we're hearing Mr. Andal saying that the shutting down of MNIB is not to do with the board, but to do with the PM. It is the PM. Come on. What all these lies for, Mr. Pierre? Mr. Andy said that they would not shut it down. Now we hear Mr. Andal saying the board has nothing to do with the closing down of MNIB. It is the Prime Minister. Why are these people just lying and lying and lying and lying? They will run out of lies. They will run out of lies. The lie that look as the truth is the worst kind of lie. Let them continue to lie. Hell pit is getting hotter. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, I believe that there is something sinister about the level of silence and the manner in which the National Democratic Congress is operating. So the least they want to say to the public, so the public would not able to see beforehand the sinister plan. I am concerned. I am convinced they will sell electricity company. I know they won't sell water. Not this time. Maybe the next time NDC come on in power, they're going to sell Nawasa. But this time, I expect they're going to sell electricity company. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
my brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I remember in the election campaign, NDC campaign on accountability, transparency, and good governance.
Not in this campaign.
Eh?
Not in this campaign. In the one previously, under Tillman Thomas.
Tillman Thomas. Well, I'm saying that to say that, like, you have people that were in the old regime that were supporting them.
Yes, but they made it a point to tell the public all of them was new.
Yeah,
I think that came from Mr. Andal.
Yeah, right? I'm saying, when you consider this government presently, this government will go along in the history as it was government. The government that hate the poor class of people the most.
Well, definitely they don't like this group of people.
They don't like this group of people.
And
right?
why?
Yeah, I can say, why these people, what they did to them? I'm saying, you know, sometimes when you check back, these people operating like if they came from the sky, real Belaroses. They came out, they born with riches and wealth, forgetting where they came from.
All of them great-grandmothers who grab bamboo jars.
Exactly.
All of them coming from the poor working class.
Exactly.
Or the proletariat.
You have where they promise the greater people. He said, vote for me. I will make everyone that on contract, I'll make them permanent. Right? Make them permanent. People hear that, they feel so happy and so pleasant about it because they say, well, I'm there on contract, and if you make me permanent, I will be happy about that. Right? The people give them the vote. No, the people give you a vote. Fight to abide, do what you say you do. You're doing the opposite. Instead of making them permanent, you send them home. Send them home to suffer. I remember they had children going to school. And I said to that to my little girl, your child that you help go to school and give them a good education. That young man or young girl could be one of them who end up with you, son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, as one of the people you make it hell. Right? So we look again at the seed, which was in man state. If I'm just saying that from the World Bank report stated, 350 and 450 people who getting that, the government at the time want to keep them poor. Right? When people hear that, they say no, but if the government want to keep them poor, and they say you should raise it to 650 and more. Right? More. They will say, no, I will support the government for that. They vote for, they give you their support for that. But what you did, instead of add more, you reduce it. Mr. Pierre. Third one, they said they're going to legalize marijuana. There are some of them never vote yet. But when they hear that, I make sure they go out and vote for that to happen. What they did, up now they're waiting for that to materialize. I don't think they will have any plan into anything with that. They say again, Mr. Pierre, there will be no more victimization. That will be a thing of the past, Mr. Pierre. No, that is on the rise also. That is on the rise. And also here again, Mr. Andal said, with Imani, what happened in 2008 with that was a bad mistake. And Mr. Pierre, you see, what they had in 2008, they just sent him all the money. But what happened now is Persia, they invited the other Persia. And that Persia, they're watching them with a big and bright eyes. Any little mishap, they send them home. They send some home already, but they send them home trip by trip until they close on the program. This shows this government, I can say, who they really care about. I don't care about the young people. Right? I don't care about the senior citizens. When you look at the situation again with the humanity, some of the parents in the home, yes, the humanity was not a permanent job, but some of them get permanent work. Right? I remember some of them get permanent work, they become managers in other places. Some of them qualified, they get permanent as being a teacher. So the humanity was a train young men. Right? And they had them in different places, the private and in the government took some of them. And they help themselves, and they become permanent workers. And they do wonderful job now. So that was very good for the young people. Right? So I can say, what are the plans now the government has for the young people in Great Caribbean Pitmati? What are the plans? Right? They don't say nothing. And all what this government is doing, Mr. Pierre, is thinking that they made there, the same nothing they said that the federal government was not doing. It's the same nothing they continue to do. So even though the government was not doing anything, well, how you continue to do it, working on doing the same thing the government doing on the plans and the project that they were doing.
Yes, caller. Thank you. The number to call is 442-0175. I particularly address my issues to members of the National Democratic Congress. We dissolve the government we have. If you like NDC and you believe they're on the wrong track, yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. All right, we lost that caller. Caller, try again. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning, afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to Grenada. Just there, since yesterday, wanted to call one of the other programs on the same station, but I didn't get the chance to do.
Okay.
And doing this today, because much people is listening. I was listening to Master Call yesterday, and he was playing a clipping where the Prime Minister was saying, when you see a government behaving in a certain way, you have to find out who fund them. And, it was really, really, really alarming to hear how the Prime Minister had to say, and to see how he lives and how he behaves among us right now. He said he never knew the perks that a Prime Minister have to enjoy. And all that shows where he lives. He never come and say, oh, what he's saying is not true, what the people are saying is not true. You know, and paying all this amount of money, he never come and say, well, no, that is not true. So he leaves us to understand why, and then, you know, he don't have a problem. Just in my head, you have a gala coming up next month in the Florida, Miami.
You have 7 galas so far.
Yeah, one in Miami coming up next month, I think somewhere around the 25th, around there.
Be
And then we have one
fascinated
in
with
November
galas.
in England. And, you know, he just take joy in just doing those things. He don't care if the people don't eat. Because if he comes out, but the people don't eat, you think he be paying all this, we will be paying all this money for the Prime Minister, what you say?
Yes, scholar.
This is really, really, really alarming. It's time for us to open up our eyes and just look beyond the Pandora's box and look deeper and see. Somebody asked me, say that Mr. Pierre, I always say, I wonder who sent him.
Always still
I always
inquiring
wonder
who's sending.
Because when I listen to Mr. Duncan and what he's saying about the CBI and how much he said, it's really, really, really...
Duncan's song very concerned, you know.
I support you, Mr. Pierre.
If you know the individual, he
seems
seems as his song very, very concerned. Yeah.
It is alarming. It is alarming, Grenadians. And then, you know, to hear in the zero guns and them big guns and them still defending a lot of these things. Mr. Pierre, as we say, he don't have a job in the opposition. We have to continue to be as his careful and just come to be vigilant and watchful, because trust me, sometimes I wonder why the sun is so hot. We all have to feel it. They say when the sun shines, don't shine on one man. It shine on the good and it shine on the bad. It shine on the righteous and it shine on the unjust. So we all have to feel the same heat as what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So when the rain falls, all of us feel the heat. So when the prices go up, we all have to pay the same price. So come on, trust me. We wonder what the Prime Minister is doing. We have to pray for them, because trust me, it's alarming.
Yeah.
God bless you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, and you see, if the government continue on that trajectory, the damage to the economy will be irreparable, and you will have untold problem in the very social fabric of our society. Now remember, we could find out more about the government's intention, and the government could get a rude awakening on the Damascus Road and change. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
I would like if you could explain to me something that bothers me. After listening to Dr. Bob interview with Mr. Duncan and the land that they take over, the property. Now, isn't it the passport, Grenadian passport, isn't it a property of Grenada?
Yes, it is. They could withdraw it anytime.
So why is it they're paying these people for acquiring the land? They're refunding back the money or whatever it is they're doing, but they're getting money back.
The people,
And you're still allowing them to have the passport. Couldn't the passport be included in the agreement that you get your land, your money for the land for what you have done, and the passport returned back to Grenada because it is the property of Grenada?
no color. The people who bought the passport, they did no wrong. They live up to their side of the bargain. It's the government of Grenada that thwart the plan, not the people. The people did no wrong. You asked them to invest in a business and they did. They are not managing the business. So they need to have the passport. The biggest issue there, and from the Bob report, you should listen to Duncan. When Duncan speak about valuation, he introduced this to warn the Grenada public that you don't see half of the story yet. I remember Duncan book, Walk the Straight and Narrow. So I call on public officers, some of the best people to address the issues now are public officers and some of the old trade union leaders.
But Mr. Pierre, these people that have this passport, they are not Grenadians, and we know the background. When I say so, the nationality, right?
But they did
What
no
happens
wrong.
if they commit? What happens if they commit a crime somewhere else?
Then the government is going to withdraw the passport from them individually. But you can't take it from them because they did no wrong. They kept their side of the bargain. It's the government of Grenada that playing hanky-panky with people's investment. It's not the people.
Okay.
The people did no wrong.
Okay.
You know, it's like somebody asks you to go down on a bus. You pay the driver to go on the bus. But when they reach in St. George's, they realize that the driver didn't have license or what, and the owner come, and they decide that you should not get back your money or something like that. Or you should pay again for the ride. The people did no wrong. They live up, they did all what you tell them to do. The government of Grenada that decide to thwart the plan and take back the project. So the liability have to come from the government. And if you listen to Richard Duncan speaking, he established a warning to our people.
Anyhow, thanks for explaining.
Yes.
But I'm still scared about that
Yeah.
with the passport in their hand.
You see, yes. But the people who have a passport, they did no wrong. Your country is selling passport. England sell passport. Canada sell passport. America sell passport. So it is not illegal to sell passport. They call it citizen by investment and other program name. The American gave Grenada. Grenada was the only country, I believe, that had the power for the E2 passport. So these things was designed to create some investment and economy for country. So the people who invested, they did absolutely no wrong. Nothing wrong they did. It was the government of Grenada that thwart the plan. And as a result of that, well, you have to give back the people the money. You can't take the money, that means you go shaft them. You're going to take the money and they have no investment. They invested in a project. If the project fails, then they lose their money. Because you could invest in a project and the project get bankrupt. You could invest in a project and it take 10 years for the project to make profit. But if you invest in a project and somebody take over the project and they intend to give you no money in it, then something wrong. So you see, the National Democratic Congress is the most corrupt government we have in the last 8 decades. But for you to understand that, you must Google Mr. 10%. You might end up in Trinidad or Pakistan, but Google Mr. 10%. The government like big projects. The NDC government always like big projects. And my comrade Dennis Cornwall, there are some things perhaps I could point out more, perhaps if I was speaking to comrade Dennis Cornwall than here, but I'm only speaking those here that I believe I could express my opinion on it, and based upon the reasons I give you. Based upon the reasons I give you, I feel confident to express my opinion. And I encourage members of the National Democratic Congress, in particular, to examine what I say. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. Caller, you there? Punch. We lost the caller? Caller, try again. Somehow the other you were there. The government of Grenada was adding, I told you, I've given you 10 reasons why I say this government is the worst government that passed in Grenada in the last 8 decades. The government is encouraging its politicos, its mouthpiece, to be very dismissive and insulting to poorer people Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
Mr.
my
Pierre,
brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, you said the NDC government is the worst government, passing away.
And I giving 10 reasons why.
But I could give 20 reasons why the last government was the worst government ever passing away.
All right, so give me 20.
The first one is that the NFP government, they have $500 million, they say, and they refuse to pay the pension. Instead, what they do, they're going to reducing salary from people. That is one. The next one is that they spent 9 years in power. They had no opposition, nothing, everything they did. They refused to pay the subsidy for the students. Now they come down, they want NDC to pay for bus fare and all this kind of thing. They had 9 years to do that. They do nothing, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, the NS, they had 9 years to fix it for the next 40 years. They did nothing. Only they still they can smell it. These people them is the most wicked set of people ever passing here. Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, it's a burning shame to see that the local project, they had 9 years to fix it. And they don't do one thing on it. Mr. Pierre, look at the farm in St. Macabre, the shrimp farm. They spend millions, the same CBI people, they spend millions of dollars on it. I don't know, they don't get a shrimp. I talk about wickedness. That was government ever passing with Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
All right, thank you, caller. You see, that is one of the challenges I'm encouraging. I'm definitely encouraging members of the National Democratic Congress. Your party is in power. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, caller.
Well, that caller run and run and call and run.
Well, he had to give me 20 and he gave me 3, so don't bother.
What's about the road project?
Well, you could...
What's about the 150 from the poor people? What's about...
Caller, your radio in the background.
All right, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah. Just call us back.
What's about the Modern project? What's about the River Road project? What's about the 150 that you take away from the poor people? What's about the work you take away from the road workers, the ordinary people, to feed their children? The amount of damage NDC had done in this short time to the Grenadian people. This man blind, you cannot see. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, my brother.
No, but he said, caller, in all fairness,
had done to Grenadian people for this short while. Look what happening to the supermarkets and them. These people are them selling on their own lyrics. When you go in the supermarket, it's like, you want them, you want go on. Just recently, a bag of flour was $190. Now it's $195. In couple of days. So this man don't understand what really going on in Grenada. Because he for NDC, he just supporting in all the wrong things they're doing. Look about the project, look about the CBI passport, they will lose all the funds and have to pay back these people and give them back the passport and even lose the case that they're fighting. Here look into all of this problem and this stress that these people are putting people into. Look at what's happening in this country. This man only, what NDC do, they should thank God that they made this money that they could have paid the pension. Is Kit Mitchell still help them out to pay the pension? All now, they say they borrow money, he borrow no money, and he pay back the pension easily. He don't even pay pension, he got charity money. You understand? So Mr. Pierre, have a good day and tell that man to check his vibes.
No, we have to entertain discussion in all directions. He told me he'd have given me 20 reasons and he gave me 3. The 3, I could bore up hole in it, but it's right. You know, in all fairness, I told him he partner with some things. But I believe that members of the National Democratic Congress, the moderates in the party, the seniors in the party, the time has come for you to intervene in this gala government. This is a gala government. There is 7 galas in under 2 years. No other government No other government in the history of Grenada have encouraged the political activists, the politicos, to be dismissive and insulting to the poorer people. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
The caller, the NDC caller.
Forget the caller.
Have not made it. Huh?
Forget the caller.
The personnel that spoke on behalf of the NDC. They have not made some good suggestions. What he says is not totally true.
Well, caller.
Yeah.
He said he's going to give me 20 reasons. He gave me 3. Yeah. So I let it lie. Otherwise,
not good.
Caller, you go spend the whole time going after him.
Yeah, but we have to, Mr. Pierre, when somebody says something that is wrong, they must be told that they are wrong.
But it's his opinion. You see, we could...
No, it's not an opinion, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, that's not an opinion. Right, a wrong is wrong.
Okay, go
ahead. A wrong and an opinion is 2 different things. The gentleman is saying something that is wrong, and he should be told that is wrong. If he give his opinion, that's a different thing. 2 different things. An opinion and a wrong is 2 different things, Mr. Pierre, and you know that, right? NIS, the NIS situation was looked in long before. For him to say that the NMP did nothing about it, that's not true. If you remember when the NMP had their convention and the NIS people came in to explain, and the NIS people was all over the country explaining the different changes of the NIS. The NDC said that was wrong for him to come in the NMP meeting to do that. Remember that this thing about changing the age didn't come last week. It didn't come because of NDC. We must know that, right? And when they were supposed to start to change, you look at the report. We had COVID, so you could not have do those changes at that time. So the gentleman must know those things and not just come and say things. And we say that when you're wrong, tell the person that they're wrong. I believe in educating people. So if he say things that is true and all right, we support it. When he say things that is not true and all right, he must be told that he's wrong. You ask him for 20, he give you 3.
No, I didn't ask him for 20. He said he'll give 20. I didn't ask him for 20.
Yes, okay. Right, well, okay, he say he's going to give 20, and he have not given 20. He can give 20, and those he give is not total truth.
All right, so let's leave him alone now. And let's go ahead.
Well, it's either we leave him alone or tell him when he's wrong, but we can't make him believe that he's right. When you have the facts to prove that he's wrong. And let's not be straight on that. It's either we leave him alone with his own opinion, or we tell him he's wrong. You can't tell somebody they're right when they're wrong. Thank you.
Okay, caller, thank you. Yes, the National Democratic Congress. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
And good afternoon, Grenada, your listeners.
My
one of the things I hear you constantly telling some of our callers is just ignore him and let him continue to make his contribution, because some of us don't understand the whole nature of the political propaganda. We can say what we want, but this gentleman will continue to say what he wants, whether it's true or not, because it's part of their propaganda. Because as an old saying, if you say something for too long, all right, and so people start believing it. You understand? We as an organization of persons who think you don't have to bother with him. We know it's not true, ignore him. Ignore him and let him talk. Eventually the truth will catch up to him. If he plain, he does not know what the truth. But again, it's all part of the NDC propaganda. By putting things out there, they know it's not true. but they continue to repeat it, and their supporters believe it. Have a good afternoon, sir.
Yes, caller. Yes, we have another caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, I'm saying that the gentleman is singing for his supper. Clifford expect you to be singing with him. And Clifford need to find a comforting place for himself too. I think he's very arrogant. And he must learn to conduct himself properly. Yeah, I think Clifford need to conduct himself properly. He's way out of order these days. He wants to correct everybody. Who give him that authority to correct everybody? How you know the man is wrong? Living gentleman like do they pay him to do that, so he's doing what he's paid to do. The Prime Minister used to be collecting money for things he do, and we say we condemn the Prime Minister because he was working against Grenadian. So how Clifford want to correct everybody? Thank you very much.
Yes, the National Democratic Congress is the only government that I in tongue long in the last 8 decades that encourages the political activists, the mouthpiece, the politicos to insult people, to be dismissive of people, and to identify communities in Grenada and call them classless. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
How you want people to share a set of old lie? Share. How you will say share and it's a set of old lie and you say leave the man? Some people taking that for granted. What am I saying there? They're like he people like him. Like
caller. The NIS, the gentleman views on the NIS, a number of people have these views. I differ strongly on NIS. There's a lot of subjective discussion there. The question of the pension, a lot of people don't even understand the pension issues. Caller, listen to me a while. The gentleman views on NIS could go any way. Some people believe what this government do on NIS is a good thing. There's a lot of people that don't agree with NIS. I have said it on a number of occasions. I do agree. On the question of pension, some people, the government sell the pension as if it's... So you have different views on it. There's a lot of subjective views.
To me,
and on the question on
you can't share life with what am I saying?
All right, caller. Okay.
All right.
Caller. You see, there are some issues in Grenada. A lot of discussion could come on it and we could go anyway on it. The question on pension, you could take a whole program alone with 2 persons trying to explain pension. The question of NIS, I think NIS is not right. I don't think NIS is good. I changed a lot of my views on NIS. I think NIS is wrong to increase the contribution and increase the age. But some people believe the actuaries recommend that. So the gentleman is not out of groove in his statement that he's making. The question of the tuition, government paid tuition. So people who go into school now in National College, they don't have to pay the tuition. My issue with it, the government sold it as if it's free education. Nothing is wrong in paying tuition. But at the same time, the government disadvantage people in the lower income group. But because the NDC has always been hostile to people in the lower income group, NDC supporters would agree that it's the best thing since sliced bread. So nothing is wrong with what the man is saying. Nothing is wrong. It's just different perspective. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
And what I'm saying is that many times I was there, you telling the man when he go wrong. So I don't know what the other man saying there. Because many times I was there, you tell him when he go wrong.
Yeah.
So I stand up for you with that because many times you just tell him, no, listen to you. And when he go wrong, you just tell him he go wrong.
But the 3 issues he suggests, he could go anyway. It depends on how you look at it.
Yes, but what I'm saying, besides that, anytime I was here when you telling him when he's wrong.
Yeah, if he's wrong, you know.
When tell us what you telling him that when he ran?
Yeah, sometimes something.
Yeah, but the other man doing Clifford doing just as if you doesn't tell him that.
Yes.
All right, so are they on your side?
Yeah.
So you don't tell him that.
Yeah, there are some issues in Grenada that you could have discussion going. It's not about wrong and right. There are arguments. So the NIS issue is an issue we have to discuss much more. The pension issue has not been discussed enough. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Just listening to the discussion concerning the gentleman who made his comment. I don't see that he was wrong in what he was saying, trying to correct the man concerning the NIS thing, because I even forget myself that they had this when they had this convention, NNP had this convention, and the NDC were complaining that the NIS people were not supposed to be there. So the man was just refreshing our memory of what went on. So I don't see why people have to be going down on him, Clifford, and say this and say that. He was bringing out a point, which is very, very correct. So I don't see why
we have to be very tolerant to different views.
I didn't say, well, he didn't. You were trying to tell him to shut up, and he shouldn't say that.
No, I wasn't telling him shut up. I wanted him to leave the topic.
You didn't say shut up in those words. But what you were trying to do is to shut him up.
Yeah, it's different views. You see, these issues we could argue from now till Jesus Christ come.
Yeah,
because you have different perspectives.
But as you were saying, facts is facts. And this is facts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is facts. What he said is facts. It was reality.
Yeah.
So I don't see why this other man coming and try to jump down his throat and say Clifford this.
You see,
I mean,
caller, you know what happened to us? We're going after the small fries. And when Dickel Mitchell lied to the public, we refused to go after him.
Well,
when Dennis Cornwall lied, we're not going after them.
We cannot go after them.
Yes, we could.
They haven't got a forum. They haven't got a forum for we to go
we
after them.
We could go after them on this forum.
Yeah, but the same thing. But this man calling, so we could answer this man.
Well, we have always entertained callers.
I know. I didn't say
I encourage them.
I agree.
I entertain them.
You have a good program. Yeah. I listen every single day. Yeah. And I think, but this kind of jumping on Clifford.
Well, we're coming to the end, so we're going to have...
Yeah. All right, no problem.
Yes, we have to encourage our callers. You will not agree with every caller. So nothing is wrong. Caller, you have to really punch.
Yes, ma'am.
You just punch. Yeah.
Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
Yes, and one of the issues that I think that we miss in the whole question of the acquisition of the land by government and so like the Kuana Bay is what was the reason why the last government, right, intervened and caused, for example, the developers, not those who invested their money, but the developers. And so what went wrong between government and the developers that caused that court case in the first case? I think this is some of the things that we're missing, and we need to explore and get some more information about that. Thank you.
Yes, scholar. As I'm going to end with the statement that I made. The National Democratic Congress will go down in history as one of the worst political party and government. And if they do not have a rude awakening on the road to Damascus, they will do irreparable damage to the economy and the very social fabric of our society. So I appeal to members of the National Democratic Congress, the moderates, the seniors, please intervene and see how you could change and help the National Democratic Congress to get back on a decent road. You see, I offered about 10 reasons why I make this statement. They establish restorative justice, and its practicality on the ground among our people is simply political vengeance. This thing could boomerang and cause untold damage to our country. The government seems to be enchanted with NDC's gala and squandering public energy while they lavish in that mirage. The NDC is the most hostile government to the elderly, physically challenged. The government that repeatedly lie. They repeatedly lie to the Imanis. Over 3,000 people in the Imani. They trick them without compassion. A government that remove income from disadvantaged children. The government that opens the door to a cesspool of corruption. Why do I say that? Senior members of the government, several of them, are involved in companies that selling passport, and the Prime Minister is the final signatory, the final stamp, the final authority to that passport. That must be of concern to all those who was walking around with morality and accountability as a gallard around their neck. Senior members of the government are taking loan in the GDB bank. How that could be right? And the government is encouraging politicos to be very dismissive and insulting to the poor people of our country. Here what they call them, greedy and needy, nasty people. And as if nobody complained, so they're trying to outwash themselves, calling people classless. I never hear that. I have heard no political party in Grenada describing people as classless. The Prime Minister, none of the members of the National Democratic Congress did not, they never take issue with the statement. So it seems to me they have endorsed it. But they have established the platform because they have good people in Grenada, good people, lunatics and idiots, greedy and needy, nasty people, throw pee on them, give them armchair. So they're getting worse. Now they're identifying communities as classless. I believe if the NDC don't have a rude awakening on the road to Damascus, they will go down in history as the worst political party and government. We could change that. I think that's why the saying is, we deserve the government we have. If we don't deserve it, we're going to do everything in our power to guide them and change the government. Thank you very much. We're back with you again next week for another program of On Target.